All right. So we have another Acolyte situation here now with the Intergalactic Heretic Prophet game from Naughty Dog, where they don't seem to learn, these people. They have problem taking criticism, even though some criticism might be very harsh, but it is still criticism. And if you're into this business, you should really listen to the broader audience out there, because they are the one that at the end is gonna buy your game and make you money and make you stock owners happy. So if you do what this actress Taddy Gabrielle did, go out there and try to attack the gamers and ignite further controversy just to, I don't know, just like a bad poker player, she understand that the situation is not good for the game at the moment, seeing how they turned off the YouTube comments, seeing how many people are at the moment disliking the video. So maybe she's just trying to save the day while trying to act cool and ignorant and treat the people like shit. So she put up this meme where it says, "You mad bro?" and it also has so DEI-licious on it. And well, they just outed themselves. I mean, that's it. The game is going to be purely mostly about DEI. It won't be focused on very good story or a very good gameplay. It is just like any other Vogue game out there. It's going to be mainly focused on DEI. And they're also drinking drinks labeled with fragile masculinity. Well, that could be actually pretty funny, but they believe that just because many people out there don't want to play as a female or female looking like this, then you got to be fragile. No, it's just all about people knowing what they want. They want to play it as something else, not that. And if you can't deliver it, people won't buy your game. It's as simple as that. There won't be any, you don't need to dig a lot further into it. Definitely shouldn't try and attack your customers trying to put them down, because the gesture itself have been widely criticized and obnoxious and dismissive towards the genuine gamers out there. Gabrielle also has a history of a lot of activist comments out there, and she is a prominent for the DEI in gaming. When she spoke with the list in 2023, Gabriel doubled down on the false assertion that in order to identify with a character, a child must look exactly like them. Quote, "The networks can listen more to the fans and pander more to them by listening and understanding that when they're shouting their outrage towards things, it's not just because they want to be bratty and they want to be whatever, but they want to be represented properly," she said. They want to see themselves. We all watch movies as children and find a piece of ourselves in character, and that's what gives us inspiration or hope for our own future. If they listen a little bit more, we can go a lot further. So what she's saying more or less is that characters gotta look much more exactly like the people who are playing it, because otherwise people can't relate to them, which is absolutely crap. I mean, when I was a kid, one of my favorites were He-Man. I mean, I didn't look like him none whatsoever. I was like a little scrawny shrimp back then. I also looked up to the Turtles. I never looked like them, but my mom made me a costume when I was having my masquerade party when I was a little kid. The problem here is that these people think that characters gotta look exactly like their consumers. Otherwise, people can't relate to them. So with this outlash from the actress here, it's not a surprise that this game most likely would just prioritize diversity and equity and inclusion and the DEI stuff, much like other games that fail miserably. And it's often on expense of good gameplay and good story. So it might not have been the smartest move from Gabrielle to post this, because this will only ignite even more dislike towards this game. I just can't understand how these people think. How they can actually think that this will be a good idea. Yeah, if I post this, every critic out there will for sure change their mind now. This will make them buy the game and realize how wrong they are. Sometimes I'm just sitting there thinking, is this some kind of Twilight Zone? Is this some kind of alternate universe we trajected into? What happened the last 10-15 years? Because let's be honest, I mean, Naughty Dog, after Uncharted 3, it went completely into another direction. Not many people wanted to be part of what Neil did in The Last of Us 2. They completely threw away Joel and had to put this buffed up anabolic female to take his place instead in the game. And even though the game sold very well, and as I mentioned in my other videos, that I think most of it had to do with the game actually were already very, very solid with The Last of Us 1. So people wanted to play the second game, of course, because it's a sequel. But as the year passes by, more and more people are seeing through this bullshit. All the DEI stuff just need to go. People don't want anything to do with it anymore because it's not genuine at all. This is just a bunch of leftist white people that are just trying to look good and just trying to ride the wave of the woke agenda that has been a trend now for the last 5-6 years. I mean, ever since they announced that Trump won, so many companies has moved away from the DEI nonsense. They realized that it won't benefit any company at all. There are no proof at all that DEI works. It actually makes a company more profitable. It's just only more or less pouring down the money down into the drain. These people that make these kind of games, they are not game developers anymore. They are just activists that are trying to get their message out through another medium. They found gaming to be a good medium to reach out to a younger generation. Problem is that most gamers out there are not interested in these kind of messages in the games anymore. They have seen through the scheme that this is just another approach from the activists to try and nestle their way in from the back door into the lives of the younger generations. And as we can see here now, we got almost 100,000 thumbs up, while it's more than double the amount of thumbs down. And I mean, these are people that could have bought the game if the developers, or I mean the activists, would have done a game that the majority actually wanted. That's the thing. Most people that are for DEI and all that woke nonsense, most of them doesn't really play video games. They are far from the target audience when it comes to a single player action-based sci-fi game with a bounty hunter. There are no lefty woke DEI activists out there that are really interested in that kind of game. We saw it with Concord. How many people bought that game and played that game? Afterward, they blamed that the market was oversaturated and stuff like that. Yeah, because Marvel Rivals sure is a game that didn't do well. All-time peak 21 days ago, almost 500,000 players. During the last 24-hour peak, there were 371,000 people. I mean, that just speaks for itself, doesn't it? But yeah, the game Concord, it cost money and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, I can agree with that. That might have discouraged some people to buy the game. But I mean, out of several 100,000 people, potential players, you don't think you would at least see maybe 50,000 gamers that would like to buy the game if the game actually had a really good design and cool characters and all that? I mean, I don't need to show any pictures. Everybody know how the Concord character looked like. They look like shit. I mean, that's like the worst characters I ever seen in my life. It's because we all know who made the game. It's the people. They can't do games. They don't have any clue what the majority of the gamers out there want. They're just making games out of their own agenda. And as I said, they're not game developers. They're activists. Pure and simple. I mean, at its all-time peak, Concord had 697 people playing the game. I mean, this is, I'm baffled. I can't understand how it can create something that bad and then blame it on the market being oversaturated. I mean, it just shows how delusional some people are or how much in denial they are. So that's the problem here. I mean, as soon as anybody is criticizing the DEI character for being not attractive and not interesting or ugly or anything, the people that made the game and the people that are supporting this crap just goes after the audience, saying that they're sexist and they're racist or they're incels or bigots or whatever. But I promise you, as soon as you go into one of their Facebook groups, like their Dragon Age Veilguard group, where you're not allowed to actually use any emojis, laughing emojis, as soon as there is a picture in those groups on some lightly dressed, buffed up guy from the Dragon Age Veilguard game. They're all drooling over that character, and they're saying how much they would like to be with that character. And they're just doing all that stuff that they label the other gamers there on the opposite side. So they're nothing but a bunch of hypocrites because they're doing the exact same thing. It just happened to be that the characters they enjoyed are more towards the LGBTQ community and looks more gay or whatever. I mean, as soon as there is a bunch of white males out there that says that a female isn't attractive, they go all high wire crazy, and all their little brain cells are trying to comprehend what is going on here. They're trying to say that that's not natural, that's not realistic, and everything like that. But just looking at Stella Blade, the actress in that game looks exactly like the gaming character, while these DEI activists that trying to make games, they are actually altering the look of the main characters, making them less attractive. Which one is morally better than the other? Then you come to the problem when you actually do give constructive criticism towards any game. These people don't allow it. They didn't even allow it in Ubisoft. I remember reading about it, and within Ubisoft and the developer team there, they didn't allow the criticism, the constructive criticism at all, because they call it toxic positivity. Just wrap your head around that. Toxic positivity. I come from a background where constructive criticism is what makes you grow and what makes you better. And it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And they are talking about fragile masculinity when they are the one that need their own safe spaces. They can't handle any form of criticism at all. All I see is a lot of projecting. People are projecting their own insecurity onto others while they are playing the victim mentality and are being a bunch of hypocrites. Don't sit there and try to label people that find a certain look attractive and tell people that they're bigots, incels, or that they just want to sit at home and masturbate to these characters because they enjoy a certain type of look on women. When you yourself are sitting there within these enclosed Facebook groups doing the exact same thing, just towards different kind of characters that has a different kind of look towards them. I saw it myself. There were a picture of these male big characters, the bad guys with the horns, all the people writing in that post. They really didn't know what to do with themselves when they saw these big gay looking characters. I mean, it's not like it's a problem. I mean, people can enjoy what they want. It's not a problem that they actually do enjoy these characters. Look, problem here is that these people that they are actually going out then and saying that you and me or anybody else shouldn't enjoy what we enjoy, because it's not the same thing as they enjoy. And I know it sounds crazy. I mean, that's the thing. It's hypocritical. It's a bunch of hypocritical people that try to enforce their own beliefs and their own agenda and their own mindset onto others. And if you don't agree with them, well, then you're a bigot and you're an incel, you're an idiot. Whatever word they are trying to use to discourage you from enjoying what you enjoy. So this is also just another reminder that the developers should actually be very careful what they say to their customers. The developers gotta show respect and listen to the consumers and customers of their games, especially when they are trying to create a completely new IP here. They might want to have a second or third game, or if they just want to break even, which I see might be a problem now, because this game is actually growing up to be much more disliked than Dragon Age were. I think personally these kind of developers will vanish. I think all of this DI and activist nonsense, it will go away. Either that or the company will just go bankrupt. They can't expect to put hundreds of millions into a game and not even break even. It doesn't work like that. So, I mean, I was open to try out this game before, but now when I saw that nonsense meme she put up there, I mean, why the hell should I put my money into this game? I see no reason at all. As I feel now, I'm not even interested in pirating the game. I mean, I won't even give them that pleasure. So what do you think about the game? Do you think the game will be good enough for you to play it after this outburst? Do you feel like it doesn't matter, or do you feel that she was way out of line? Let me know in the comments, and I wish you all a good day. All right.